Micallef tonight with your host, Sean Micallef. Special guests, Delta Goodrem, Ben Elton, George Greegan, no one else. Plus the musical starlings of the Channel 9 9. And now here he is, the presenter of the show, Sean Micallef.
Thank you very much indeed. Oh, sorry. Thought that was my tongue. Lovely to be here, indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, you stopped applauding. All right, sorry, Sean Micallef, it's on the audio cue. Beware of imitations. Mine particularly. I did Jimmy Stewart last week and we got letters. It was appalling. Speaking of American movie stars, good segue, isn't it? Movie legend Gregory Peck passed away on Friday at the age of 87. Yeah. Yet the funny thing is, he still polled higher than Simon Crean and Kim Beazley in the Labour leadership vote today. Interesting results. Let's have a look at them. Most of the caucus going for the donkey vote there. A lump of coal getting an impressive 52%. So congratulations to Simon Crean, though. Yeah? Well done, Simon. I'm sure you'll succeed where others before you, including yourself, have failed in keeping the party together. In the meantime, John Howard can do no wrong. Even his plan to continue as Prime Minister hasn't lowered his approval rating, although he is threatening to dismantle the Senate, which I'm not so sure about. I can tell you're angry about it too. I love those red seats, and the Senate do some good work. Next Thursday they're finishing up the Senate hearings into poverty in this country, which is a real problem and needs looking into. Poverty is a terrible thing. I was saying to Francis just before the show, I wouldn't be poor if you paid me $1 million. He agreed, didn't you, Francis?
Your logic is impeccable, Sean.
Did you all have a good weekend? Hi! Oh, it doesn't matter. I must admit, I was a little concerned by some of the news in the papers. That we have a new level for our terrorist alert system. It's extreme. Not bad. I did prefer some of the other contenders, though, which included Dear God, Freaking Hell, Oh the Rapture, and Feats Do Your Duty. It's one of my personal favourites. Security at airports continues to be a concern. They could all stand to lose a few pounds, in my view. Get rid of the goatees and work on their deportment. Aside from that, there's a question of safety. The CEO of Sydney Airport has said it's hard to know where to draw the line because even a hand could be a lethal weapon in the wrong hands. Anyway, the wash-up is that from now on, only amputees will be allowed to travel by air. Sadly, people won't even be allowed in to wave goodbye, because it's just as well, actually, just rubbing it in, isn't it? Overseas and... Thank you very much for that applause. Overseas, and the man they've dubbed the Michael Jackson Bandit is still on the loose in America. He's been so named because he wears one glove during his bank heists, and his getaway car is driven by the remains of the Elephant Man. Yes, we're losing everybody tonight, Francis. Quick, is the car running? Here's another one. Egyptian censors have banned The Matrix Reloaded on religious grounds, citing a passage in the Bible which strictly forbids 99 Hugo Weavings. Russell Crowe and his wife Danielle are expecting a baby. I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say congratulations and wish them all the very best. No joke there, we're just trying to get Russell on as a guest next week. So,
hey, Sean.
Excuse me.
Sean.
Yes, Francis.
It's amazing what you can do after 30-odd seconds of grunt, eh?
That's torn it. Well, a great lineup of guests this week, though. Joining me for a chat tonight are the multi-talented, the beautiful Delta Goodrem. She'll be doing a bit of singing as well. The enormously gifted and handsome Ben Elton. He won't be doing any singing. The highly skilled and athletic captain of the Wallabies, George Greegan. And as always, the OK and humanoid Francis Greenslade and the Channel 9 9. Francis, Any change in the lineup tonight?
Sadly, yes, Sean. Liberace is out because his mum's doing a roast.
Yes.
But in his place, on Triangle, the Olsen twins and Alan Rickman.
Fantastic. Well done. And they say international guests are hard to come by in this country. Well, who could forget Mark Jacko Jackson's hit song, I'm an Individual? Send your entries to I Forget Jacko's Song, care of Micallef Tonight, etc. And you could be in the running to win this reminder. But to open our show tonight with a very, very special rendition of that song, please welcome the Mac Robertson Girls High School Choir, or whatever choir we can get. Oh, sorry, that's a note to myself. That shouldn't be in the order cue. Anyway, here they are with I'm an Individual. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Variety may be dead, but its reflex twitching will keep us entertained for years to come. Well, Hillary Clinton, her memoirs hit the bookshops last week, and I, of course, was sent an advance copy in the hope that I might mention it on air, which, of course, I would never do, even inadvertently. It's not just an ethical thing either. I don't actually have enough time to read these days. That's why I like the spoken word tape version of books. I can listen to the latest bestsellers in the car as I drive in, and they've done that for Hillary Clinton's Living History, as you can see there. But I'm not at all sure about the choice of the reader. As you can see, it's read by Billy Connolly. I know he's popular, but I'm not sure it works. We've got it queued up. Have a listen and see what you think.
On Wednesday morning, Bill woke me up early. He sat on the edge of the bed and he told me he lied about not having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. I could hardly breathe. Gulping for air, I started crying and yelling at him. What do you mean? What are you saying? He just stood there saying, I'm sorry. I was trying to protect you and Chelsea. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Time to turn the page.
You know, it's fine, but it is 6 hours of Billy, and he doesn't do the whole book either. They apparently got Sean Connery in to do the index.
Fellatio, pages 93 to 227.
Superb. All right, now, if you're anything like me, you love wondering what if. What if Toadie from Neighbours was the Eiffel Tower? What if Britney Spears weighed 700 pounds? What if Russell Crowe and Danielle Spencer had a baby? Well, on that last question, we don't have to wonder what if, because it's actually happening, as we know from Francis's joke earlier tonight. But what would a baby between Danielle Spencer and Russell Crowe look like? Perhaps it would look like this. I thought we were going to do a graphics joke there. No? Still, it was cute, wasn't it? Nice to see. OK, we'll try again with some computer work on the graphics this time. Sale of the Century is coming back, but who is to host the new version? A number of people have been suggested, as seen here in this newspaper report. Together, they're a formidable group, undeniably, but individually, I'm not so sure. And that got me to thinking, what if we took the eyes of Des Dowling, the forehead of Russell Mark, the mouth of Ed Phillips, the ears of Steve Kearney, the hair of Lockie Daddo, the nose of Lawrence Mooney, and the smooth, boyish skin of Daryl Summers? Maybe we'd end up with this. No, that is not... No, don't... That's not quite the effect I was... Look, all right, one more, and we'll see if they can get it right, all right? I want some computer morphing. Kiefer Sutherland, as seen here, is a popular movie actor, star of 24. What's he going to look like when his hair turns grey and he ages 10 years. Well, I'd be making hay while the sun shines, Kiefer. Oh, look, I've just got something serious to do now. Just a reminder about Nightline tonight. North Korea continues to boast of its nuclear arsenal, but as you'll see on a special report on Nightline later tonight, they may talk the talk, but they're not actually walking the walk. Nightline, oh, they're crazy. We'll be right back after the break. Hello. Are you confused by the choice of items for sale in supermarkets? Really? Good God. Then it's time for Lavinia Nixon's Consumer Power Tips.
Consumer Power Tips.
Most people think laundry detergents are all the same.
Consumer Power Tips.
Oh, there you go. Hit the nail on the head once again. Now, my next guest, Delta Goodrem, is on her way to becoming a household name here in Australia. Perhaps if she changed it to Ajax, she might speed things up a bit for her. Although she's a fool to consider that, because Delta Goodrem is a beautiful lyrical name. Delta Ajax sounds more like a Dutch soccer club. Although maybe that's not so inappropriate, because like a soccer club, she has thousands of fans and appears each week on a ladder. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe to change a light bulb. I don't know her that well. Until now, please welcome Ms. Delta Goodrem. No, that's all right.
Sean,
no, you
how
can
are
say
you?
hello to them. I'm very well, and you're very tall. That's all you.
I'm about 5'10" or something.
5'10". I'm just
said-
intimidated
oh,
by you.
I
No, I'm not going to stand next to you
Okay.
because I feel shorter than you, and it's a worrying thing. But it's
okay.
very nice to meet you. Thank you very
Lovely to
much for
meet you
coming
too.
along on the show.
Thank
Now, John Farnham. I'll ask you a question about John Farnham.
Yes.
John Farnham did his last show of the final tour last night,
Yes.
and you share a manager, don't you, with John?
do. Glenn Wheatley.
Glenn Wheatley is John's manager and yours as well. And I just wondered, had Glenn, you know, Glenn's very organised, a very organised man.
He's extremely organised.
Has he come to you with a 30 or 40 year calendar and said, well, all right, I've worked out your last performance? Is it organised to that extent?
I'm not sure, though we have talked about doing the I Can't Believe She's 21 tour. But,
Right.
no.
That's all right. No, we can build to that. That's right. Because you're only,
Exactly.
what are you now, 18
18.
now? It's very, very young. Well, that's
I have
all
to do
right.
my first tour yet.
Yeah. Well, that'll be soon, I assume, won't it?
I'm still in Neighbours, so we have to keep working there and then see what happens after that.
Right, OK. And but you're a reasonably well-organised person yourself. Everything's reasonably well planned, isn't it, for you? Because I know that, see, most people in soaps...
I'd like to be more organised, but
Do
yes.
you think? Because most people in soaps who decide to pursue a singing career do that as sort of an afterthought. But you've actually always wanted to be a singer, haven't you? And
Yes,
you've used this opportunity on Neighbours as a stepping stone to that end. So it's actually come around the other way for you, hasn't it?
I was signed to Sony when I was about 15 years old, and it was just something I was always really drawn to. I love music, and I love acting, and I love learning about it. So it was something I didn't just turn around and say I wanted to do. Like yesterday, it was something I really planned out and said I really want to be around for a really long time, doing music and doing acting and evolving and learning. So
And you've been writing for a long time as well as singing, haven't
I
you?
have. I've been writing since a really young age.
Yeah.
I love to write.
How old were you when you wrote your first song?
I think I was probably about 7 years old.
7
And then,
years old, all right.
And
is
then
it-
started demoing them by the time I was about 12 years old.
Right. And was it that led to Neighbours for you, the demoing of the song?
The demoing of the song starts about 12 years old, and then from doing different demos and sending them to everybody, then getting a management by about 13, 14, and then with Sony Music, that kind of led to releasing a single, and then from releasing a single, Neighbours asked if I wanted to be on the show as a singer.
Right, okay. And
very lucky.
your character on Neighbours, though, Nina, is not as successul a singer as you are, is she? She's still...
Oh, she's trying. She's working really hard.
No, but she's still singing in Tom Oliver's pub, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. It's a weekly gig.
Is that, well, that's all right. It's a steady income. But is there going to be any plot development in terms? Does she get more successful? Does she, or is it too expensive for the Neighbours' budget to take her on location? So it's got to be Tom's pub or nothing.
Tom's. No, yeah, she's getting an agent, and well, actually, when I went to Europe recently, she went to Asia to tour. So it's like Nina was going off singing to Asia, and I was going off to Europe.
See. All
so
right.
we had a bit of a...
Well, that's good. That's good. All right. Now, I'm wondering, you know, because I've got a quote here. It says that you said, "I prefer to express my problems through music."
Yes.
I can't imagine you have too many problems, but I wonder if that's such a good idea, Delta.
It's not a good idea?
Well, I don't know. I'm just
really
wondering.
tell people my
problems. No. You know, telling your problems is fine. It's a good, healthy way of sorting them out. But I just wonder about. I mean, I wonder about artists generally using music to deal with their problems, because, you know, let's say an artist, not necessarily you, but let's say an artist, you know, has a problem in their life. Bad day, they lose a boyfriend or whatever, and they write a song about it. And it's a big hit, and they've moved on in their life, but the song is really popular, and people want them to sing that song pretty much for the rest of their career.
Yes.
Isn't it just reopening old wounds for them? Isn't it just isn't it a bad thing to do?
No, I think it's a great way. I mean, everyone has a different way of, like, expressing themselves and helping themselves through a problem or through a bad day. And I think I really like to go home and just lose myself in music and write about it, whether it be, yeah, good or bad. And I understand that. You have to kind of revisit and everything, but it makes you feel a little stronger. It kind of gives you that edge to it.
If you can dance to it, even better. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. All right, now... your first single was released in the UK 3 hours ago.
It was. I don't know what
How's it going?
I don't know.
You don't know? All right. Well, but your new single, your latest single, Innocent Eyes, debuted at number 2 in the ARIA chart. So well done. That's excellent.
You very much.
And the album is still number 1. Is that right?
Actually, it's not number 1 today, but it was yesterday.
What?
It was yesterday. No, it's number
number
Micallef
35
went into
now,
number 1 today.
What happened? Metallica?
Yeah, Metallica.
It's a fickle public.
Sean, please?
Well, I'll pull the strings. I'm a very influential man in show business. But the song is very popular. In fact, what I don't know if you know this, but I did a cover. I sing, as you know.
I saw the band last week.
Did you? Good God, what's going on? I sing, as you know, and I did a cover of your song a few weeks back on this show.
Oh, did you?
Go and have a look. It's a bit of a surprise for you. Let's have a look at it. Hey, what do you think of that? It's pretty impressive, isn't it? You sent your backing track in too early.
Why am I doing performing? You may as well do it
well,
for me.
no. I think there's room in the marketplace for both of us, Delta. In fact, there might be room for even more, because Francis just last week did a cover of that particular song. Let's have a look at it.
Seems I'm lost in my reflection. Find a star for my direction.
Oh God, that's enough of that, I think. See, there's many different levels and layers, and you can explore your lyrics. I bet that's uncovering subtleties you weren't even aware of, and you
I wasn't aware if it could be done like that. Didn't know it could be done like that.
No, and probably shouldn't be done like that. But just to obey the rule of 3, we also got
That was
Merle.
lovely, Francis.
Well done, Francis. We also got Merle from the Canteen to do a version. Let's have a look at that.
Don't let me see mistakes and lies. Let me keep my faith and innocent eyes.
There you go. Well,
that's
Merle.
beautiful.
See, everyone loves the song. Incidentally, Delta, all 3 versions can be found on the Micallef Tonight
Goodrem.
CD. And oddly enough, it comes with a bonus CD, Delta, you'll be pleased to know.
Wheatley sings
Goodrem.
Goodrem.
Yeah. Good on you on that too. But we better show the real ones. We better show the real ones there. There's the album, which is still available
I
now.
think the other one's much prettier.
Do you? Oh, this
No,
one
not
here?
that one. No, your one.
Oh, my one. Oh, I'll put it alongside it if
There
you
you
like.
go.
We'll compare. Here we go. And here's the single as well. And you know, get the whole set, folks. Get the whole set. And look, you're off to America. You've been to Europe. Did you visit any of the countries there? I imagine you did.
Hang on a second, let me compute that.
Strange question.
Okay, no.
You did, I imagine.
We did visit. We visited lots of different places, and I think I ended up being in 3 countries within one day. At one stage, you'd wake up in Amsterdam, then I went to Dublin for the day, and then came back to London. So it was a very whirlwind trip. Like we got to do lots of performances, perform in front of some really big crowds, and it was completely different to over here. But I really learned a lot again.
Okay. Well, we might have one of the people who saw you. I'm not sure. We're going to take some calls now. Let's
that'd be great.
calls from Alex from Toorak. Go ahead, Alex.
Hello, Delta. I really like your latest album.
It's actually Sean here, Alex, but thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Do you have a question here for Delta?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Delta, I recently purchased a crystal vase. It's about this high, and I guess it's this wide.
No, we can't see you, Alex. This is a telephone call.
Oh, right, yeah. Anyway, I believe the vase dates from the early 1850s, and, well, I really can't tell you much more about it except the word Waterford is engraved on the base, and there's a price sticker on it that says $6,500.
Oh,
Well, Delta, how much do you think Alex's vase is worth?
Well, I think it's worth $6,500.
$6,000. Happy with that, Alex?
Sorry, I think you've misunderstood me, Delta. I know how much it's worth, obviously. I want some advice about where I should put it. I'm thinking about putting it over here next to this thing.
And what does that thing look like?
It's round. It's got a light. Can't you see?
I'll try a bit harder.
Look.
How's that, Alex? Does that answer your question?
Oh, it does, yes, great. It's perfect. But thanks, Delta. You really know your stuff.
No
You do
worries.
know. Thank you very much, Alex, and thank you very much, Delta. Now, you're off to... I'm sure it is. You're off to America very, very shortly. Now, you don't have the platform of Neighbours as you do in the UK. So it's a different approach for you, is it?
Yeah, it's a completely different plan. So I'll see what happens over the end. Just give it my best shot and just work really hard and hope that people enjoy it over there. But truthfully, it's been very, very special to be able to release the album here, firstly in Australia, and then to see other Australians embrace it and get it to #1 by supporting it. So I've been very, very lucky.
All right, well best of luck to you. Please thank Delta Goodrem. Welcome back. Look, I should have said before the end of the last segment that Delta is, of course, she's not here now, but she's going to be performing for us a little later on. So, you know, don't think that it was just going to be me, Francis and Merle singing that song. Delta will do it far better justice than we could. Oh, look, it's 10:04. Time for chessmaster Gary Kasparov to join us via satellite from St Petersburg. We've been enjoying a very, very close game over the last few days, a very cunning gambit from Gary, but I sense that victory might be mine tonight. Right. Behind the wheelie bin? No. Damn!
Kasparov 3, Micallef 0.
Curse you, Kasparov! Okay, now, if I were to say to you that my next guest is one of the most prolific and influential comic writers of the last 50 years, you'd probably guess it's Ben Elton. The fact that you know who our guests are and that we've already had Delta on narrows the choices anyway, but let's face it, you had a 50-50 chance of getting it right even without me saying anything. The mention of comic writing automatically ruled out George Greegan, so to be honest with you, this guess of yours is not all that impressive, is it? So it doesn't alter the fact that he is what I said he is, and we should welcome now, please, Mr. Ben Elton. Hello, Ben. Was it ever Benjamin? Was it ever Benjamin Elton?
Certainly, that's my full name. That's what's on my passport and birth certificate. My parents used to call me Benji.
Benji? Oh, isn't that nice?
Well, it was at the time. I don't think it'd suit now.
But you dropped that when you became the alternative stand-up. It didn't work for you.
I got called Ben at school and it sort of stuck with it. I think Benji Elton would be quite a...
Benji, well, maybe you can bring that in when you're in your 60s or something. Yeah. Why not? Look, can I congratulate you? Well, look, let's get the plug out of the way. You're here to direct We Will Rock You.
That's right.
And you're here to promote We Will Rock You.
Of course.
And can I offer you my congratulations because you are probably the first man ever to have made sense of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, I must admit, yeah, Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Bish Miller, will you let me go? No, 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 Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, let me go. Beelzebub is the devil put aside for me. Well, yes, it's not the most clearest of lyrics. Roger Taylor...
You're obviously familiar with it.
I am a little. We've been having something of a hit with it in London for the last 15 months, and I've been listening to it only today because we have 35 brilliant musical theatre professionals in our company here in Melbourne, all Australian and New Zealand, and of course they've been rehearsing all those great numbers, so yeah, I'm hearing them again.
Can I just do a checklist while we're here? Look, because you rather cunningly, have you not, got a character called Galileo Figaro.
Yes. And
you have a character, I think it's his girlfriend, called Scaramouche.
That's right.
And she
they do the fandango.
She does the fandango,
yes.
Very good. And there's Thunderbolt and Lightning in the show?
It's terrifying, it's not just very, very frightening.
Oh, really? You got a little beyond your brief there.
Crap yourself, man, it's unbelievable.
All right, Magnifico, excellent.
Well, 3 million quid's worth of effects in London. That's pretty frightening if you happen to be paying for it.
And in Australia, what? That's
about $3. Yeah. No. It'd be the biggest production I think Melbourne's seen. You know, Queen don't do things by halves. And when we first started talking about a theatrical kind of adaptation of their oeuvre, their songbook, so to speak. You know, it was very clear that it had to. The stage show had to be as big and as vibrant as the music was originally, and believe me, it is. It's a pricey piece, so value for money.
Well, you are the director of this this Australian version, but you didn't direct the original version.
No, I was very heavily involved because as writer, you know, I do a lot of work on the comedy with actors because you know, comic timing, as you know, is crucial.
Yes.
But Melbourne, the Australian production is very, very close to my heart. I'm kind of half Australian myself, and my wife being Australian, the kids are Australian, and we always intended this would in a way be the template for the world productions. I mean, London was the first, and it's been a huge hit, and we're very thrilled with that. But with Melbourne, we're kind of shaping it for the world, and if it works here in Australia as we expect it to, then next year's productions in America will pretty much be this production moved on. Well, so it's a very exciting time for me.
As writer, though, do you feel, are you protective of your text, or are you happy to change it? Are you going to make any topical... Text, is that the wrong word?
I love it.
The book?
The book. Yeah, no, I just think the text, yeah. So I'm very protective of the text. I am indeed, yeah. No, I mean, good gags are not as easy as they sound. The thing about, you know, a good laugh takes a lot of working on, as you know, and there's been a few good ones tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Ben.
I enjoyed it enormously.
At least two.
I wouldn't say protective of it, don't have to be. I mean, we've got great actors and singers, and they're enjoying doing it. But yes, there are references, because the story of We Will Rock You is this joke, there's a sort of future legend, a world where live music is banned, the kids have lost control of their charts, and all entertainment is produced by a corporate machine. Sounds a little bit like today. It's a satire, of course. You're seeing a little bit of it here, the London show. So obviously we have local references to local rock and pop, and yeah, I've been enjoying looking back over my Australian rock and pop, my Long Way to the Top videos from the ABC, and yeah, there's the odd reference.
Oh, I see. So it's you are going to change your own words.
Of course, I always do. My work's organic. Comedy's a living beast. You know, Dame Comedy's a tough taskmistress. You have to beat her soundly, and you've got to work hard on it. And it's something that you have to keep at. And certainly there's a lot of topical references and some Aussie references going in, but not like crappy ones. Like, oh, we're in Australia. I'm sure everyone really wants to hear a reference, you know. But if they're right, and because it's about rock and pop, you know, I might change a reference to the Who, to the Easy Beats or something like that, just to bring it in. And you know, you got to check Barnsley and the Akadakas and the Skyhooks, haven't you? Obviously.
No, I'm sure that'll be appreciated. Have you enjoyed this level of control over your written work before? You know, being the director of it. I mean, I suppose as a writer of...
I've directed a feature film, my darling. Have you not read your research notes? They were copiously put before you. I know.
Maybe Baby.
Yeah,
no,
Maybe Baby,
I have read
indeed.
that. But when you started off, you were writing for the young ones, and you were writing for
Blackadder
and Filthy Rich and Cat Flap. And as a writer, you occasionally would appear, certainly, enacting your own jokes. But I wonder whether that was frustrating for you, seeing your material performed by other people.
It's a good... No, it's wonderful. I mean, people sometimes ask me why I'm not more in my own work, and the reason is, why would I? If I can get Ryan Atkinson, Rick Mail, Jennifer Saunders, whatever, to do my work, then why would I want to perform it?
You did want to play Mike in the young ones, though, originally, didn't you?
I sort of thought about it.
Put your hand up for that?
Kind of, but Rick said no. So that was that, because he was kind of boss. So I suppose that was frustrating. He said, get back in your box, farty. So,
do you like the way those characters have developed in their own, in Bottom?
Yeah, I love Bottom. It's got nothing to do with me, but I'm a big fan of Rick and Aidan. They're close mates of mine. That's the point. We've always been cooperative in our work. I've been lucky to work with colleagues, good colleagues, always. So there was never a time... Sure, I have a lot more authority now in the work I do. I direct it, I produce it. The Thin Blue Line I produced. So, yes, officially I have more authority, but I always had the influence that I earned, which was that if I was able to make my case for the timing as I saw it, then they'd do it. And Rowan, I can remember talking to Rowan in 1985 about how Blackadder Line should be delivered, and, you know, he paid as much respect to me then as he does now, which is kind of, you know, OK, because we're mates and we respect each other. So I've never had to battle to get my way, because I've always seen comedy, the production of comedy and indeed a little bit of drama, as a cooperative ideal, and certainly working at the moment with the Australian cast of We Will Rock You, you know, I'm as interested in what they've got to bring to the characters as I've got to tell them. So I'm listening to their interpretations and taking their timing from them and helping them with my suggestions. I do believe that, you know, good art should be a certain cooperative venture, and you certainly have more fun if you listen to people and hang out with them. If you think, I'm a little Hitler, everybody does what I think, you have a pretty sad life, I reckon.
Well, you mentioned Blackadder, of course, it's celebrating its 20th, I think, anniversary. Is it this year? Or
it is indeed. It is indeed.
But not your involvement, because you came in the second series.
No, I see it as only its 17th year anniversary, because there was the first series that I wasn't involved in, and it was crap. No, it wasn't.
Channel 7 were involved in that in Australia.
Well, they brought it up and cut the crap out of it. I couldn't believe it. 8 ad breaks in 1.5 hour sitcom, man. But it still worked. It seemed to, you know. Baldrick, you're as small as a... And now here's Meadow Lee. Good on you, Mum, for about 10 minutes, and then suddenly we're back to the punchline.
Is there pressure for you to do a 5th series? You and Richard Curtis to write another series?
Well, I mean, the BBC would love it. That's very nice to know. But no, there's no intention whatsoever to do it. I mean, Rowan's off doing his movies, Richard's doing movies. I've sort of moved into musical theatre at the moment, but I also have movie options and things. So I think we'd never say no. You know, I mean, Blackadder's something everybody loves, and, well, I say everyone. It's very nice that it is so well loved. And we still see a lot of each other. I mean, Rowan and Richard are still good friends of mine, as are Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie and all the rest of the gang, Baldrick, Tony Robinson. So who knows? I mean, we did come together for a little Millennium project a couple of years ago. Blackadder Goes Back and Forth, which I thought was a bit of a curate's egg, but it was fun to do. So, you know, there's always the opportunity, and a Blackadder feature film is constantly being mooted, but feature films, man, don't wait for them. You grow old waiting to get those things commissioned.
Well, maybe you might get to direct that. Would be very nice.
Well, I'm enjoying directing. I think I've got something to offer in terms of comic timing, in terms of talking to people about it. It's just what I'm excited about at the moment, because I spent all week in a South Melbourne rehearsal studio working on just that with the gang.
Well, no, the very best of luck with... look, I've got the programme here from... this is from the London production.
It
probably cost you about £50, wouldn't it? There we go.
About a fiver,
I'm keeping that. Yeah, that's
the London production programme, but the first overseas production's here in Melbourne, and that is a pretty exciting thing for me.
The Australian premiere is Thursday, August the 7th at the Regent Theatre, Melbourne. You're sort of in and out of Australia involved in that, aren't you?
I'm basically... I shall be here for the entire rehearsal period, but I'll go back for 2 weeks, because I've got to see my kids, you know, but then come out again. Well, you'll be at the premiere, I hope, on my arm, because my wife won't be here, so you'll be my beard.
I'll happily be there. I'll happily be your beard. Yeah, all right, hang on a minute. Now, let's take a call from Matt in Melbourne. You're first. Matt, you there?
Yeah, Sean, it's Matt Welsh here.
The swimmer?
Yeah, backstroke. You had me on last week.
Yeah, I know, I remember. I'm just a bit surprised that you're actually ringing.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, I noticed you're spending far more time talking to Ben than you did with me last week. I was wondering why.
Well, he does go on a bit, doesn't he? There's no reason, Matt. It's just the way things turned out, because we had an extra guest last week, as you know.
Oh, I was just wanted to say, you know, I got a far better run on the fat last week. I got about 10 minutes, I reckon. I mean, that Tony Squires wouldn't cut me off in the middle.
Thanks very much, Matt. Goodbye. Thanks for calling. Ben, thank you very much for having a chat.
John, you've been a gentleman.
The very best... you won't need luck. It's doing great guns in London. I'm sure it'll do great guns here too.
Huge hit.
Please thank Ben Elton, ladies and gentlemen. Hang around there for a gag.
Cool.
Ben, before we go to the break, I just wanted to quickly remind you of a nationwide appeal that's underway at the moment. It concerns Don Bradman's 1948 baggy green cap, and you can ensure the return to Australia of this famous piece of our sporting heritage by making a donation at any National Australia Bank branch. Alternatively, you may prefer the Leave Bradman's cap where it is and send my money to World Vision instead appeal. That's your choice, the valid one. We'll be back right after this. thank you. No wooing, please. Too American. Security. Now, when I was told that my next guest plays with the Wallabies, I thought, oh, great, they're going to book some nature freak and I'm going to have to sit here and pretend to be interested as he goes on about how cool Australian wildlife is. Then somebody pointed out that the Wallabies was the national rugby union team. Boy, was I embarrassed, particularly given that that somebody was the captain of the team. His name was and is George Greegan, and coincidentally, he's my next guest, and he's here, so I didn't really need to do this introduction. George Greegan, everybody. George, welcome. Thank you. You're a busy boy. You're a busy boy. You're in the middle of playing. Well, not right now, obviously, but on the weekends, either side of this particular interview. The World Cup is happening in Australia later this year. It's being played all around Australia. You know this, don't you? I mean, I'm not telling you what you don't know. Is this hyperbole? Is this exaggeration? It is regarded by many as the biggest sporting event in the world.
This year.
This year. Oh,
this
okay.
year
So it's just limited. Not forever. Not
forever.
Across the
Olympics
universe.
is bigger. The World Cup soccer's bigger. But in 2003, it'll be the biggest sporting event.
Right. Now, those who follow the game love the game with a great and deep passion, and the other half of Australia don't get it, do they?
Well, we're sort of trying to spread the gospel, so to speak. We've played in Perth, we played Ireland in Perth, and we've played there over the last 5 years, and they're getting it. There's a big expat community there.
Well, what's not to get? I mean, it's not a difficult game. Just explain to us the
50 words or less.
Basic. No, actually, no. Do 15 words or
15?
less. Yeah.
Well, 15 is probably a key number, because that's the amount of players on the field at any given time, and you're trying to get the ball from one end of the field to the other, called a try line. If you get it over there, that's good news. And so if you kick it between the posts, that's even... It's not better, but it's good too. And you jump, you push, you grab, you scrounge for a ball, and you do that for 80 minutes, then you go off, and hopefully you're the winner at the end, and that's rugby.
There's nothing difficult about that. It's very easy to follow. Benny, you're a sporting man. You've played...
Not particularly, but I'm riveted now. I can't wait.
Because it's... I don't know, you didn't go to public school in England,
No. I was state educated, and the sports they played were soccer, as what you call it, football, and that was it. But I was, it was in each year, there'd be two teams, the team and the crap. Right. And I was in the crap. I wasn't into
You were good. You're best of the crap, though? Sure.
No, I was worse than the crap. The crap was all crap. Everyone just stood there for freezing, like red legs and pimply. And then you go back in and some of the team would hit you, and then the good guys.
George is one of the good guys.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't think all people are good at sport are bullies, but a few of them are. I mean, but I'm sure, at school, you know what I mean? If you're rubbish at sport, that's a bit of a thing. I was into drama, and that made you really march you out. But I've come to appreciate it since, and I honestly did think that sounded like quite an interesting game.
It's quite an interesting game. Yeah. George, you've been playing it since school, haven't you? I mean, it's a school. In fact, is it the only... I mean, you do regard the referees with enormous respect. You call the referees sir.
Yeah,
this is a legacy of the...
That's the legacy of sort of growing up. You treat them with respect and you call them sir.
But you don't, do you? You're the exception that proves the rule,
at a stage now, because we've been refereed by the same sort of referees over a number of years, you sort of get to know them on a first-name basis. So you call them Andre, or you call them Steve, or you call them Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Andre, Steve and Jonathan.
Very,
a marvellous group of people. Fantastic.
All great men.
Across the huge panoply of football, I think this is the politest game, surely.
Well, I have seen some footage of other codes. Yeah, we do talk to them a little bit nicer than others.
Yeah. Well, I watched the game against Wales. And congratulations on the win, by the way. Was it an expected win?
Publicly, yeah, but it's always tough. A test match is tough because, you're playing against a country, Wales, a proud rugby nation. It's not going to be easy, and, it was a tough match. It was probably a little bit more difficult than the one we had the week before against Ireland. So we were happy to win, but there's a big challenge ahead of us this week against England.
Yes, this weekend you have a game against England, and I wish you, and I'm sure...
the Welsh are better than the English at rugby, aren't they?
In the 70s they were. I heard you talking about the 70s with
Ben just goes on about the 70s all the time.
I never shut up about the 70s.
Yeah, the English team now, probably the last 18, 24 months, have probably been the best team in the world.
I'm half Aussie and I've decided to root for you.
Good on you. Literally, I like that.
Not literally root, I'm just... Yeah. But it does sound like it's going to be a cracking match, and so good luck to both sides, and may everyone be very polite.
Ben, that's very, very nice.
Excellent.
And you mentioned, I mean, the rugby union was one of the first codes to allow microphones onto the oval to actually hear what the referee was saying and also what the other players were saying. Soccer, you pick it up as well, and in AFL we do it. This is just a tortuous segue into this piece that I've got. I do wish you the very best of luck this weekend, and can we just congratulate and also thank George for coming along here tonight. Wishing the very best of luck for the World Cup. You're a winner. You're going to win the World Cup, I would have thought.
Thanks, mate. I would have thought.
But we talk about microphones on the field because you know, anyone who knows me knows that I love AFL probably as much as I know and love rugby league and rugby union as well. And I sometimes wonder whether we're getting the whole story when we watch these matches, because you're often relying on the commentators to tell you what the players are saying when they're talking with their coach. Perhaps they're lying. Surely they're not always talking about football. The ovals are very heavily mic'd, as we've said, and the great thing about working here at 9, George, is that you get access to footage like this. This is Lee Matthews talking to his team.
Bring your Sinatra CD. This is the specials board. It's Mediterranean style, everything from Moroccan to Lebanese. And don't worry if you're vegetarian, we've got dips and tabbouleh for you as well.
Doesn't sound like we're invited.
And wind your fettuccine onto the fork. Now the Moroccan beef is pan-seared in a garlic and red wine stew with just a sprinkling of mustard seeds to subtly enhance the flavour. Then it's wrapped in little filo pastry parcels and served with rocket leaves, cherry tomatoes and shaved parmesan. So don't go spoiling your appetite after the game. I was up half of last night roasting marinated vegetables. So don't tell anyone else about this like you did last time. It's an intimate soiree, just for us, okay?
You think you're coming to our soiree, you quid? Come on, now. Come on, off you go now. Come on. That's enough. We're having Moroccan beef, you quid. It's pan-seared in red wine jus, you sad quid.
Come on, Lisa, don't tell him about it.
Don't touch, it's gay.
George, there you go. Makes him seem more human, I think. Thank you very much, Ben, for coming along. And thank you, George. And speaking of humans, which I was before I started ad-libbing, here's one now, specifically Ms. Delta Goodrem, and she's singing about one of our non-vital organs, the eyes. Innocent eyes! Well done. Congratulations.
The hooch tub mother and festoon the cat with bunting. It's time for audience participation, where you, the audience, get to be the star as we spin the original Darrod's wheel. Yes, original wheel, original prizes. Like this giant concrete statue of Carl Page. Fortunately more lifelike than the actual Carl Page, seen here demonstrating the escape features of the new Green Falcon. It's a pleasant addition to any roof and makes regular garden gnomes seem dwarf-like and on a different altitude by comparison. Carl Page, the first and last names of a person with that identity. Or if you're one of those people who thinks it's funny because it's true, then you'll cack yourself over these beautiful encyclopedias from Britannica. 18 volumes, all of them inaudible. And like an S&M dominatrix who's eaten too many bananas, they're bound in leather. Normally valued at $1,800, tonight they're abnormally valued at negative 53 rubles. Or why not get away from it all with a weekend of grey water rafting at the Werribee Sewage Treatment Works? Test your rafting skills and your ability to withstand odour on this 2-day non-stop adventure battling the elements. Or should that be effluence? I'm serious, I can't read my handwriting. From Greywater Tours, a company in liquidation. Over to you, Sean and Bozo.
OK, thank you very much, Pete. And whom do we have here, Francis?
No one, Sean. The Micallef tonight zombie is still fetching her from the audience. Here he is now.
Oh, thank you very much. Excellent. All right, thank you very much, Jason.
You're welcome, Sean.
OK, thank you very much indeed, Jason. He's never looked better. Looks a bit like Richard Alston. Thanks very much, Jason. All right, now, Francis, who do we have here now?
Sean, this is Beverly. Beverly is 64. She's a call centre operator. She told us she doesn't mind. She's married. She has a dog called Puppy. Her ambition is to win the lottery, and here are her medical records.
Thank you very much. Let's just have a quick look. Ah, tapeworm. OK, well, best of luck. Now, here we go. Now, Beverly, we thought we'd do something a bit different. Have you watched the show before?
Yes.
You have? And you came along. This is astonishing. This is surprising. Well, we thought we'd do something a bit differently this week. Francis, if you could gingerly usher Beverly off to the side. I'm going to explain what we're doing with the wheel. We thought it suits you very nice. What we thought we'd do this week is actually give away a prize. Okay, it's just a novel idea. So on 19 of the 20 numbers, you're going to win a prize. All right? So chances are you have to be very, very unlucky not to win. Although there is a chance. So, you know, that's the suspense. That's the theatre. That's what we're creating here. All right, so Beverly, do you want to start on any particular number? Any particular number take your fancy?
13.
13? Oh, 13. Oh, tempting fate. All right, there we go. Give it a big spin. And the very best of luck to you. All right, Beverly. Yeah. Oh, yes, indeed. All right, now, Beverly, you could be going home tonight with this on your finger. I don't know what you've been touching here. Francis.
Sean.
Pete.
Thank you, Sean. Tonight, Beverly is playing for a picture of a car or 2 tickets to the first preview show of We Will Rock You on July 30th at the Regent Theatre.
Okay. That's your choice, Beverly. Would you like the picture of the car or the We Will Rock You tickets?
I think I'll take the tickets.
The tickets! Oh, very, very lucky. It's working so well. It's like turning into a real show, Francis. All right, no, God forbid. All right, now, the question, if you please, Francis.
Certainly,
right?
Sean, Beverly. Have a look at these 3 photographs. Pretty funny, aren't they?
Well, Francis, just get on with it.
The bees on them.
Yeah, all right, I know. Yeah. We don't want to see it. We saw that a couple of weeks ago.
All right, the question relates to this photograph. The original caption to this photograph was, A, which one has just filled his nappy? B, PM finds Governor-General candidate without murky past? Or C, PM and baby in brain swap success?
All right, now, Beverly, we'll give you some thinking time. Oh, God. Quick, Beverly. I don't come to there.
Take A.
A is the correct answer. Well done. You win a wheel of brie. You win the 2 tickets to We Will Rock You. And Pete, tell us things, won't you?
That's right, Sean. All complaints about tonight's show should be addressed to Today Tonight, care of Channel 7, Mobs Lane, Epping, New South Wales, 2121. And by all means, feel free to slag off Naomi Robson as well. Back to you, Sean.
Thanks very much, Pete. What's Matt Welsh? Oh, it doesn't matter. Look, sorry, Matt. Have I obscured him enough? There we go. All right. You should be trading off. Thanks very much, Pete. Well, we seem to have run slightly over time again, but like a stuttering owl with laryngitis, I couldn't give 2 hoots. Thanks very much to our guests, Delta Goodrem, Ben Elton, George Greegan, and, of course, Matt Welsh. And before we go, a quick look at the weather for tomorrow. Yeah, that should just about cover it. You enjoyed the show, Matt?
Oh, I love it, as always.
Excellent, all right. Now, to take us out tonight, a new act which combines modern dance... Do you want to read this?
Oh, sure.
OK.
Combines modern dance with a state-of-the-art special effects. It's daring, it's provocative, it's queued up. So, see you in the Monkey House, Australia. Say hello to Graham, Marilyn Dowd with Astounding Colour Ballet.
Very good, very good. Colour Ballet.